The keeping up with the Barcelonas is over, as Xavi has been sacked by Barcelona and their new manager is Hansi Flick. So today's video we're going to have a deep dive on Xavi's time at Barcelona. Was it the correct decision to get rid of him? Is it the correct decision to hire Hansi Flick? And what about Laporta, who's just chilling, ordering something on Buffet or Foodora or something, I don't know, Deliveroo? What about his role in all of this situation? Because if this doesn't go right, then Laporta is in big trouble. But everybody get your thoughts in the comments down below. So Xavi was hired back in November 2021. During that time, Barcelona were 9th place. Yeah, 9th place, people. And they were atrocious under Ronald Koeman, the Dutchman. Oh, he was so bad. There was no continuity, no style of play. So Joan Laporta thought to himself, all right, I got to get a manager. We don't have a lot of money. Do I just go for something bold, or do I go with the legend who's learning in the desert in Qatar? Well, Joan Laporta brought back a legend of FC Barcelona in Xavi Hernandez, and it turned out to be the right decision. Yes, Xavi did not have the accolades as a manager or the resume to say, yes, you should be Barcelona manager, but he knew, one, how to handle the press, because we know the Barca media is basically Jaws. You are just going into the deep end and you don't know whether you're going to swim or you're going to get your leg chopped off. But Xavi did well. Remember, they finished second that season after being 9th. Like, that's incredible work from Xavi to somehow turn it around when everybody thought to themselves, yeah, they went out of the group stage of the Champions League, but yeah, Benfica tax. It was an important decision for Joan Laporta to bring some sort of identity back into this club. Seriously, like, they had no soul whatsoever, Barcelona, and Xavi kind of brought that back into this team. And what did he do the next season, right? What did he do the next season? They got some good signings, Lewandowski and all these sort of guys, and they went on to win the league, and they won the Supercopa. 2 trophies. If you're a Barca fan, and you're looking at your squad before 22-23 season, you're like, that's great. That's fantastic. Yes, you went out of the group stage again in the Champions League. I know it. Inter and Bayern Munich, I get it. But you have to give credit a lot to Xavi for, in a year, about a year and a half, 2 years, to go from 9th place, looking like nothing with this club, to winning a La Liga title, and defensively being the strongest I have seen Barca for a very, very long time. To win that La Liga title, they had to just be smart with the transfers, which they were. They were very smart. Well, except for Rafinha, I still don't know how they paid 70 million for him. But getting Lewandowski and getting other guys, it brought back a desire and a sort of pressure that Barcelona provides. And he delivered a trophy. Is exactly what Laporta wanted. He wanted Xavi to bring a title, and he did that. And I think Xavi should get a lot of credit for that La Liga season. But now, heading into the 23-24, they don't spend a lot of money. They get Romeo on, 2 million, 1 million transfer. Inigo Martinez, Gundogan on a free, very good deal. Obviously, you're getting Cancelo and João Felix on loans. So it wasn't the most splashiest of summer windows. And obviously, we know the financial difficulties that Barcelona are under. But the expectation was still to compete for the La Liga trophy. You got to at least compete and progress far in the Champions League. Well, this season, it's kind of been a little bit rocky. A lot of injuries, as we have seen. De Jong, Pedri, I mean, all of the players were just injured at one point. It was just basically under 15s at one point on the bench for Barcelona. It was just under 15s and under 14s. But one thing I think we all can realize with this Barca team this season, and obviously Barca fans, let me know in the comments down below, because I've watched every Barca game. But I remember watching that Villarreal game, and I thought to myself, okay, you have the lead. And to bottle it like that, that's inexcusable. Same thing with Girona. How are you conceding 4 goals? Yes, Girona have been amazing this season. But 4 goals in your own crib. Nah, that is inexcusable. And I think you kind of see the signs going from that game and then just struggling with Valencia, struggling with Almeria. Like, Almeria are garbage. Then Villarreal, you're losing 5-3 at home. And after that game, we're going to get to it later about the whole sort of timeline with Xavi saying, yeah, I'm going to leave at the end of the season. After that game, it was done. He said, I'm leaving at the end of the season. I don't want to deal with the Barca press. I don't want to deal with Laporta. Maybe Xavi realized himself that I don't think I can do this job anymore. Maybe he thought that to himself. But the performances this season from Barca as a whole have not been good enough. Yes, people can say injuries. But defensively, they look shambles at times. I mean, 3 of those Villarreal goals were so bad defensively that you have to think to yourself, okay, Xavi, some coaching is needed here. Yes, you can rely on the individual talents of a Kubarsi or Rauho or Christensen or whoever, but you got to coach. You have to have some sort of defensive structure. I'm not really worried with Barcelona when it comes to attacking and getting goals because they have a plethora of talent there, but it's more defensively. And again, you're conceding 3 goals to Granada? Granada! Bro, they threw a grenade on the field and scored 3 goals. These are the sort of issues that Xavi has faced this season, and I think that's why Laporta is looking at him like, you're not the long-term solution. You're not the long-term guy. We need to get a proper manager who's a bit more ruthless with his choices with lineups and that sort of stuff. Don't be so maybe friendly with the players. I think Xavi, very good. I think he's a very good manager, but maybe he doesn't have that ruthlessness in himself. Like a Pep does, like a Hansi Flick, like a Jose Mourinho. Maybe he's too kind. Maybe that's an issue that Laporta saw with Xavi and said, okay, cool, you brought us a Liga title, you brought us to more stability, now we're going to go on and get a better coach. That could be the case. But Xavi is not going down fighting. That is one thing. He's going to throw the uppercut like it's Usyk against Tyson Fury, then he's going to do the head movement, and then he's going to drop this bomb. I think that Barca fans need to understand that the situation is really difficult, especially economically, to compete with Real Madrid in Spain and others in Europe. Now, you can look at this 2 ways. You can say, oh, Xavi's being realistic about the situation of the club, and I would agree. Do Barca have hundreds of millions compared to Man City or Real Madrid signing Mbappe on a free and giving him loads of money? I don't think Barca can do that. Genuinely, I don't think that when I look at sometimes reports, the financial situation of the club is dire. Like they need to get, the Camp Nou needs to get renovated ASAP. I don't know what you need to do. Hire some other people. That needs to get finished right now because they need to generate some revenue in order to be able to spend more, to build a squad for all competitions. Now, I think Barca have a good starting 11, but it's about progressing further. Look at Real Madrid. Look at the options they have off the bench. And they're going to sign Mbappe? Like, how can Barca compete against that? How? But also, Xavi, you're just saying this because you're leaving. And you're trying to get on the good side maybe of the fans, which is a possibility as well. And Laporta, after these comments, was not happy because Xavi went even more deeper into it. He says, we will adapt to this. It doesn't mean that we don't want to fight, to compete, and fight for trophies. It is a situation for Barcelona at this time. We need stability and time. Okay. At Barcelona, do you have time for stability? Or is it always about with FC Barcelona to compete? It doesn't matter what players we got, doesn't matter what quality, you still have to show a good progression with the squad. And I don't think Xavi has done that well this season with the squad at his disposal. Yes, he can say he will adapt to this situation, that situation, but maybe Laporta in the background is looking at this and he's like, we can find a better coach. Maybe not from our own academy with Rafa Marquez, but we can find somebody else in Europe who can really take us to the next step. So I'm interested to see what you people say in the comments, because maybe some people will say, oh, Michael, Xavi is right. He's very realistic about the situation with Barca, and Laporta is being delusional, and he's smoking weed that's from Snoop Dogg. Either way, I would agree. But also, Xavi, you can't make these comments and think to yourself, yeah, I'm going to still be in the job. You cannot make these comments. If your club is in 5th or 6th place and you are like so dire situation where it's going to look like you have to sell 5 players basically because it's FFP or some situation like that, then I can understand. But you're 2nd place still. Like, come on, Xavi. You have to read the room. Read the room. Now, today, he's gone. Today, Barcelona president Joan Laporta has informed Xavi Hernandez that he will not be continuing as the first-team coach for the upcoming season. FC Barcelona wishes to thank Xavi for his work as well for his inimitable career as a player and as a team captain, and wishes him every future success in the world. Xavi will be coaching the team for the last time on Sunday's game away to Sevilla. During the course of the next few days, Barcelona will be making an announcement regarding the new first-team structure. Now let's get to this. Is this the correct choice to get rid of Xavi? This is really a fascinating because some people will say, yes, Michael, it is the correct choice. If you watch Barcelona, there's no structure. You could just say it's vibes football from the streets of Barcelona, which I can agree. Because watching some of the games, I'm like, you cannot blame Xavi for the Champions League. That's on Araujo. Fully on Araujo for getting that red card. Yeah, maybe Barca could defend better in situations, but you get an early red card. I can't really blame Xavi for that. La Liga, Real Madrid are just a better team right now. They have better players. They have a better manager. They have a better structure, a better president. Real Madrid have everything better than a better stadium. So it is difficult for Xavi and Barca. Yes, they won La Liga the season before. Fully agree. Fully agree with that statement. But it's also unrealistic to think to yourself that Barca are going to be dominant all over La Liga. I just don't think that's an acceptable aspiration for this season. But the performances kind of scream to yourself, it might be time for a new change. He's now been there for almost 3 years. He's done well, brought some stability. Maybe Barca just think to themselves, okay, let's get that new guy in who can take us to that next step. They have a lot of good youngsters like Kubarsi, Lamine Yamal, Balde, oh my God, Xavi. There is so many good youngsters on this Barca team because the academy is crack cocaine. Barca have to be careful. Because if Hansi Flick, who we're going to talk about in a second, doesn't work out, then they're going to be even more in a dire situation. And apparently Hansi Flick will take a lower wages than Xavi, but I think Lewandowski's wages are going to increase. So it all balances itself out. How much stick should Xavi get for this season? I don't think a lot. I don't think all of those signings were even his. You're giving Xavi Romeo? Come on. Romeo is a mid-table Real Betis player. And I'm being kind with that. Maybe not even Real Betis because Johnny Cardoso is better than him. João Felix? We've seen João Felix. The guy gives you one good performances, goes back home, and finds out the girl's cheating on him again. Then you got João Cancelo, who has no concept of defending. Amazing on the ball, no concept of defending. And Inigo Martinez? What is Xavi supposed to do? I think it can go both ways. For me, I would have kept Xavi. I would have. But I think Hansi Flick is a good option. But wait. Look at this timeline, people. Look at this is like the mess. And I think it was Sidlow who perfectly described it. From más que un club to mess que un club. That is Barcelona. This mess right here. January, Xavi announced he'll leave Barcelona at the end of the season. In April, Xavi reversed his decision and would stay for another season. And then in May, Xavi is fired from Barcelona. What are we doing here? Yes, maybe Xavi was asking, please don't let me go. I was a little bit delusional that night. I want to stay. I want to be a Barca manager forever, forever, forever. But also, Laporta and the board. How are you guys handling this situation? It just seemed like every day it was like, Xavi's staying, Xavi's going. Xavi's staying, Xavi's going. Rafa Marquez in, Rafa Marquez no. Hansi Flick yes, Hansi Flick no. There is no clear direction where everybody on the board and everybody in the club agrees on the direction they want to go on. There's absolutely no direction. Some guys want this dude. Some guys want that dude. Some guys want that dude. How can the Barcelona men's team be such a mess, but the women's team is organized and just domination? How is that even possible? Come on. Maybe the men's team needs to take some look at the women's team and how to run a club. But yet they're both Barcelona teams. Because the women's team is just elite. Elite. Aren't they on for the quad again this season? And then you look at the men's team and it's just it's a circus. It's keeping up with the Barcelonas. Kim Kardashian FC. Do we call now Barcelona Kardashian FC? Laporta, he's trying his best, and I can understand it's a very strange situation with all the financial issues. You're not in Camp Nou. I can understand that. But if he's gone, he's gone. Don't allow, if Xavi's begging for his job, say, oh yeah, it's okay, you can come back. No. If he's gone and you don't think he's the guy, stick to it. Instead, you're giving the players, what's the situation here? Do I want to stay? Do I want to go? What about this? What about that? If there's no direction within a club, what is a club then? But the board is just a mess. I think I saw a report where 3 people wanted Hansi Flick, 2 people wanted Rafa Marquez, and 1 person wanted Xavi. Ay, ay, ay. It is a strange old situation in Barcelona, and hopefully now it is sorted because the new manager is Hansi Flick. Now, Hansi Flick is also a strange character and an interesting manager. Is this a good hiring? Yes, it is. Because if you look what Bayern are trying to do, could you imagine in a world where Barca get rid of Xavi and hire Vincent Kompany? Oh, the outrage by Barca fans, I don't think they would have a stadium to play at. They would have to play on the streets of Barca. That's how enraged they would be. But getting a manager like Hansi Flick, the guy's won many trophies. Look at all the trophies behind him. Champions League, incredible treble with Bayern Munich in the COVID season, playing wonderful football, destroying teams. Pressing was amazing, ball movement, quickness of the team. They were fit. Everything about that Bayern team was fantastic. One of the favorite teams I've watched in the past decade. And everybody then thought to himself, okay, he goes to the German national team and it turns out to be a disaster. The guy is giving speeches about geeses and lambs and all that sort of stuff. Just watch the videos from the Amazon documentary with Germany. It's a bit weird, his tactics and his motivation skills. But his resume did take a hit with Germany. Going out of the World Cup like that, and then what we saw last year from Germany during those friendlies, it was despicable. And it didn't feel like Hansi Flick had any connection with the players. But now he goes back to club football. And I think his style of play can work. But the issue is, if you're going to ask Xavi and Pedri to press like absolute monsters, we have seen Pedri especially. I mean, he's made out of wood. He's made out of toothpicks. He's a wonderful fool. Nobody's going to deny Pedri is a baller, but he's injury prone. And to play in a Hansi Flick style of football, you need to be at a tip-top shape. So I'm worried in that sense that, yes, Hansi Flick plays good football. Defensively, they were strong, I thought, in that Champions League as well. I'm worried, man. Because if he doesn't work out, and the Barca fans get outraged and they think to themselves, why did we get rid of Xavi if it's basically the same thing? Then Laporta is in trouble. Laporta is in big, big trouble. Because if that doesn't work out, because clearly this is a Joan Laporta signing. Laporta really desperately wants Hansi Flick. He sees what he did to his side in the Champions League and he's like, you know what, maybe you should join us and maybe we can do that to Bayern with Vincent Kompany. Maybe that's Laporta's thinking. Hopefully Hansi Flick learn from the Germany national team, stop with these weird motivations and just do the coaching. And maybe he just didn't have enough time with the German national team because obviously with World Cups and international friendlies and qualifiers and all this sort of stuff, you only have like a week or 2 weeks. That's it to prepare. But now Hansi Flick will be the 3rd German manager in Barcelona's history. Is this the right hiring? With the way it's looking around all of Europe with coaching hirings, I think it might be the best one. Yeah. Because he actually has a resume. He's dealt with the pressure of Bayern Munich. Now he's going to have to deal with the pressure of FC Barcelona, which, yes, Barca press is ridiculous with some of the statements and that sort of stuff. But I like this hiring. I hope it works out for Hansi Flick and that he can sort of redefine his career because of what happened with the German national team. Now going to Barca. Who knows? Maybe it's a match made in heaven. But the key goal for him is you got to compete against Real Madrid. You cannot be, by 5 match days left in the league, be already out of this title race. Because that will not be acceptable. He's going to have to compete. And it's about getting the signings that he wants. I think clearly he's good with youngsters. He can work with the academy. He can develop Balde well. He can develop Lamine Yamal well. But I just worry about his style of play with some of the players on this team. Because we've seen the injury list for Barca. De Jong, Pedri, Araujo's been injured. All these players seem injury prone. And bringing in a style of play Hansi Flick does. So now it's going to get very interesting for Barcelona. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Was it right to sack Xavi? Is it the right hiring of Hansi Flick? And what about Laporta? If this doesn't go well, Laporta is looking even more stupid. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and of course, remember to check out all the international football content on the channel, all the Copa America and Euro content as we build up towards the tournaments. But everybody, have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Until next time, adios.